Hello, my chaotic goblin family, and welcome to the chaos. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late today. We were having some technological issues. None of my cameras wanted to turn on, so, you know, that happens sometimes, I guess. Where did I set the color that I was stitching with last time? Here it is. So, we were doing this fun little blue color. Did we finish it? We might have finished it. Hold on. 3, 8, 13. Yeah, okay, so we finished this blue color. So first things first, we get to vote on what color I'm gonna stitch with next. Hello, Maddie, and hello, Michaelers. How you guys doing? Oh, yay, cross-stitch hangout! Hello, Kaley. I'm sorry you had an awful day at work. Hopefully this will help you feel better. Where's my... He turned off my light. Okay, my light's back. Okay. Hi, Alaska. How you doing? Okay. So, first things first, let me make sure I know what the heck I'm doing. Because I probably don't. This is going there. This one. We did that one already, so we move that up. Move that up. That one. Making sure I have all my colors. Hold on. That one. Okay. Oh, I pulled that one aside because those are the eyes. I forgot we're gonna do the soul. Okay. Eastnodon, hello. How are you doing? Okay. So first things first, we are going to have a poll on TikTok. So for those of you who are on TikTok, let me open that up and you will get to tell me what color, or get to vote on which color I'm going to stitch next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I swear I can count. It's okay, guys. We will get there eventually once I figure out how to count. Okay. So here are the colors you guys are picking from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And like these 4 colors, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to be the colors that we're going to be doing color blending with. So we're going to be blending these colors with some other colors that are off screen, because they are. Because I don't have enough slots. I can't put them in like side by side, but that would be really cool if I could. Hi, Milksop Boy. How you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. My head hurts a little bit, but I have some tea on the way. My partner poured it for me, and I'm just waiting for it to steep. So I'm very excited about tea. I'm making my press-ons for prom on Friday. Ooh, very exciting. My prom was at the aquarium. That was really cool. We got to go dance with the fish. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful time at your prom. That sounds like so much fun. Pretty colors, thank you. So yeah, today we're working some more on Espeon. So there's our little kind of outline of Espeon. We can definitely tell it's an Espeon now. But yeah, this is what we're working on tonight. Nicole, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So the poll should be closing in just a minute. So once again, get your votes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's a lot of different shades of purple. These ones are kind of like, this is kind of like a purpley pinky color. This is definitely a little more like reddy pink. I think on the screen it kind of looks like, on one of the cameras it looks more pink, and on one of the cameras it looks more red. In real life it's kind of in between, like a dark hot pink. And then we got a little bit of blue, and then like a bunch of shades of purple that are going to be mixed with some like dusty purples and blues, and then like just this real pale pinky color. But yeah, Espeon's so cute. Thank you. Maddie says, go in 25 weeks priors, but that makes it even more exciting. Aww, that's so exciting. So much cool stuff happening. Milksop Boy says, I'm getting close to finishing the semester at uni. Oh, super exciting. I am getting close to finishing the semester and school year homeschooling my kiddos. I am looking forward to being done with that. Looking forward to summer. All right, so our color is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna pluck that one out. And we're gonna do some color blending with this one. So I know a bunch of you have been wondering, like, what is color blending? How does it work? Why does it sound so terrifying? And I promise it's not. Okay, so we are going to color blend. So this is the color you guys all voted on. Yana, hello, welcome. So this is the color you guys voted on, and this is the color we're gonna be blending it with. So normally when you cross stitch with 2 strands of floss together. So what we're gonna do when we color blend is we're gonna take a single strand of this color and a single strand of this color, and we're gonna stitch with them together like that instead of 2 strands of the same color. So it's actually really, really easy. Possibly the most difficult part is making sure that your threads are the same length. But even that is not terribly difficult, and if they're not, it's not too big of a deal. So I have 4 strands left of this color right now, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully pluck one of them off. So normally if I was just using this color, I would split this in half and have 2 strands and 2 strands, but instead I'm just going to pull a single strand apart from the rest of it. There it goes. So there's my single thread of that color, and I'm going to set the rest of this aside. And then we are going to pull this other color. Yeah, there we go. All right, and same thing. I have, how many strands do I have left? I have 4 strands of this one too, so that works out. So I'm going to pull 1 strand. Which one? Come here, give me one of you. Okay, so we're going to pull 1 strand of this one apart from all of his buddies. There we go. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this strand and this strand. We're going to line up the ends together. And I'm going to tie my little knot in the ends, just like I normally do. If you do like a woven under technique, just hold the strands together. But the reason I'm going to tie it in the knot now is because now I'm going to like go down and like make sure these are pretty evenly together. I'm like pulling this through my fingers, and then I just got to the end of one of the strands, so that's where I'm going to cut the other one so that I make sure they're roughly the same length. So just give the other one a little snip right there. That's just going to go there. Okay. And we're going to put these, thread the needle. Yana, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Okay, my allergies are going crazy, and for some reason, it is making the inside of one of my ears itch, and it's driving me crazy. I think I have like a piece of pollen like stuck in my ear or something. Making me crazy. Okay, so if you look really, really, really closely, the camera gets blurry, so that's not helpful. But if you look really closely, these are 2 slightly different shades of purple. So like when you saw them side by side, it's very clear that they are different shades of purple. But once you blend them together, it's not so noticeable that they are 2 different shades of purple, but it makes a really pretty effect. Well, hold on, I gotta figure out what symbol I'm stitching. I don't even know. I'm just like, let's go! Color blending for the win. What are we doing? We are doing that one. Okay. Okay, cool. We are gonna start with this one way up here in the tail. And here we go. And so yeah, literally that is color blending. So now I'm literally just gonna be stitching exactly like I normally would. It's gonna be exactly the same. Just stitching with 2 separate colors together. The tail wanted to come through and hang out on the front side, which, you know, not great, but there we go. Love Dove, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I'm still working on my giant Charizard. Oh, very fun. I hope it's going well for you, Yana. Is that the right stitch? There we go. Okay. I'm like second guessing myself. Maddie says, I was gonna get my nails done, but why do that when I can do them myself better? Yeah, absolutely do them yourself then. If you like doing it, do it up. And it's fun, yes. I used to paint my nails all the time before I had kids, and then I had kids, and I don't have the energy hardly ever anymore. And now when I do have the energy, I end up just leaving the polish on until it like completely chips off. So, 'cause yeah. I've only ever gone out like a couple of times to get my nails done, and I just am not crazy about the process. Like, I don't know, like it's just not my favorite. So if I do my nails, I usually just do them myself. Hello, Envious, how you doing? Color blending is so pretty. Thank you, I appreciate that. I really like color blending. I had never used it until about a year and a half ago. I started a set of 8 patterns and I did my first color blending. And I can't believe I waited so long to try it. Like, I was so scared of color blending, and I definitely thought it was going to be a lot harder than it turns out that it is. I was so terrified to ever try it. But yeah, so that's why I always tell people, like, color blending is not scary. I legitimately don't know why I was so scared of it. I'm a woman of many talents and hobbies. I resemble that remark. Kaley says, I like to do my nails and I use gel so it lasts a long time because I always forget to fix them and regular polish never lasts long for me. Yeah, I've had gels done a few times, and my nails are so fragile that like getting the gel off to get like new gel on started stripping like layers off of the top of my nails, like shale, like the rocks that are like, I don't know. So it was like really, really bad, and it took a long time for my nails to like finally grow back out healthy and not be like peeling anymore. So I've learned I can't really do gel, unfortunately. But I liked how long it lasted. That was really nice, like the couple times that I did it. I call nail shops chop shops because they don't care what they look like or anything. They just want to get you in and out, get your money. I think a lot of them are definitely like that. Envious says, I'm good. I just got some stuffed ziti fritta from Olive Garden. Ooh, I haven't had Olive Garden in a long time. That sounds good. Dang it, now you're making me hungry. I resemble that remark. I do. I use that phrase all the time. You can't do gel off for the same reason. Yeah. It happens. Thank you, Velvet Slow. That's okay. You can take your time. A work of art takes time. I got here a smidge late. Is color blending just using 2 colors as if they were one? Yes. So instead of using 2 strands of the exact same color, you're going to use 1 strand of each of the 2 colors. So I have 2 different shades of purple, and instead of doing 2 strands of one of them, I'm doing 1 of each of them together. But yeah, I got here smidge late. I got here smidge late too. We were having some technological issues, so I was, I don't know, 10 minutes late or so, something like that. Basically, I turned everything on, and then my cameras were like, I don't feel like working today. And I was like, same, but also I'm here, so turn on. Now I'm a happy raven. Aww. Happy ravens. Charizard is 22,000 stitches. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of stitches. That's a lot of stitches. Come on. Thread. I'm also missing chat. Are you streaming on the other T site? Yes, I am. I am on both. Your phone is not being a goof. That's kind of why I'm trying to be like, so-and-so is saying this. But yeah, I am on both. Hello again, I've been looking forward to your stream today. Aw, thank you, not Lizzie McGuire. I appreciate that. I almost forgot that I had a stream today. Is this an LGBTQIA safe space? Absolutely it is. I am a member of the LGBTQIA community myself, as are a lot of people that I love and care about. So yes, absolutely this is a safe place. Whenever I had to do color blending, either do it myself or already buy a thread that different colors Monday into their scheme. I feel like that was probably a typo somewhere in there, but I can't figure out what Monday should be. I'm assuming maybe blend. I'm assuming there was some autocorrect in there. Found you, Lightning Lizard from TikTok. Hello and welcome. I never got the alert that you were on. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. To be fair, I've only been on for about 15 minutes. I was a little bit late. We were having some camera issues. And I'm not so great with technology, as it turns out. You would think that I'd be better at it, but I am not. Favorite Pokemon? Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, safe place. Yes, you're absolutely safe here. You are welcome here. You are valid. You are loved. And yeah, welcome. It helps when I spell it correctly. It's okay. What did I just do? What? Oh, you're the trouble. Stay out of there. Silly piece of thread. What is yours? My favorite Pokemon is Vulpix. That's why I have, I don't know if you can see Vulpix. Vulpix is hiding. But Vulpix hangs out here with me and doesn't go up on the wall because it's my little buddy. But yeah, Vulpix is my personal favorite. Kelly Day, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. What days do you go live? I go live on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 Eastern time. That is my usual schedule. Like I said, I was a few minutes late today. But yeah, usually I hop on at 7:30 and I usually stream until about 10:30 Eastern. But yeah, that's kind of my usual shenanigans. Welcome to the chaos. You're right, I was trying to say I either do the color blending myself or I buy the threads that have different colors blended in the skein. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen... Do you mean like the ones that like change color as they go? Mine is Dente. Is that a pasta? I'm assuming that's Giordan, the little orange electric Pika-Pal. I'm assuming, maybe. I love Vaporeon and Sunflora. Aww. I've got a Vaporeon on the wall, but we do need to make the new Vaporeon. We need to make the new version 2 Vaporeon. Yes, okay. So the color changing skeins. I actually have not done any cross stitching with the color changing skeins, but I do have like some ideas for some that I'd like to do. But like I said, I keep saying this, and I'm probably going to just say this for the rest of my life, honestly. I have too many ideas and not enough hours of the day to do all of the things that I would like to do. Giordan. Okay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But the little orange mouse, he looks like a little squeaky toy. He's so cute. Variegated, that's the word. The blended ones are the variegated. Yes. And it's the same. Yeah, they're also called variegated in DMC floss as well. I need to make the V2 Porygon too, so my first one has a pal. Oh my gosh, he's gonna have a pal. I think the version 1 and the version 2 Vaporeons are size-wise, I don't think they're terribly far apart. I think they were pretty close. But I can't remember if I picked a different pose for it to be in from one to the other. I honestly don't even remember. My brain is so scrambled. It's full of mush, like applesauce. Do you have a TikTok? I do have a TikTok. My TikTok is the same as my username on Twitch, except it's just alphabet soup with no 0. It's an O. So if you're going from Twitch to TikTok, just switch the O to a 0 or the 0 to an O to get to the other one. But other than that, the spelling's all the same. Multi-crafter, you're here, so I often mix terms. That's okay. I will mix terms as well. I do other crafts, but honestly, this has kind of become my go-to for the most part, and I haven't been doing as many other crafts lately, or at least for a while. I don't know, this one just, like, it's just good for my brain. It's a good travel size craft. Like, I can throw a small one in my bag, I can keep a big one at home to work on, and like, I can jump around from one to one and not feel like, I don't know. Yeah. How's the fur baby? I've got one fur baby down here with me today. The baby babies are upstairs. I've got the old lady down here with me. She, wherever I am in the house, she has to be in the same room as me, always. Like always, no exceptions. When we had like the plumber or the HVAC or somebody came by, and she was in the other room from me because like I was dealing with the plumber or whatever, and she kept barking, so my partner like took her in the other room and she lost her mind. So she just has to be in the same room as me, otherwise she freaks out. Cause, you know, old lady has anxiety, needs to be near mama. But the babies are upstairs hanging out. I'm assuming my partner will bring them down at some point. Hold on. Ah, he brought me tea. He brought me tea and I wasn't even like fully paying attention. I missed it. Oh my gosh, it's warm. Warm tea belly is the best. Like that first sip and you just like feel it warm you all the way down into your belly. Cheers. You were getting a tea cheers, Kaley, because it's already in my hand. And I didn't fill up my water bottle from last time, but you guys also didn't try to drown me last time, so I didn't drink very much of it. So, cheers. Oh my gosh. Tea is delicious. All right, hold on. I'm gonna scroll up real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything. That's what I was gonna say, miss. Just battled an Espeon and sword and thought of you. Aww. Battle that Espeon. Aaliyah Skis Peace, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. 1111, hey, how you doing? It's Tosh Girl on Xbox. Hello, welcome, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Hold on, I need to highlight. That's what I need to do. I paused to drink tea and highlight. She's a mama's girl, isn't she? Yes, my dog is more than just a mama's girl. She has Addison's disease, and we didn't know that she had Addison's disease until 2020. We found out she has Addison's disease. So before that, we just thought she was very, very anxious and that she just really wanted to be near me all the time. It turns out she actually has a neurological condition that when she gets stressed out, her body does not create cortisol, which is the hormone that tells your body that you're safe now and you can calm down. Her body doesn't create cortisol. So if her adrenaline spikes even a little bit, her body does not calm itself back down. And so her whole life, she has been using me as her safe place. So when she is with me, in my arms, next to me, in my space, whatever, her body allows itself to calm back down finally. And so in 2020, she had what's called an Addisonian episode. So her adrenal gland function dropped down below 10%. She went into Addisonian shock. She couldn't move. She couldn't eat. She barely drank anything for about 4 days before we were able to get her into the into the vet because it was a 3-day weekend and like it was a whole thing. And so we finally get her in and they were able to run some testing and figure out what was wrong with her. And now she is on a cocktail of medication. But since she's on the medication, we now realize, we now know that this anxious personality that she's had her whole life, where she is scared of everybody and scared of other dogs and like all of that, was a symptom of her illness and not actually her personality. It turns out she really does like people and she really does like other dogs. She just was so scared of everything. She didn't know how to initiate those things and still feel safe. So now she is 10 years old and she is desperately trying to learn how to feel safe around people and feel safe around other dogs and how to initiate, you know, friendships with people and dogs. But she's not very good at it because she didn't have any practice because she was always too scared to. So if we are not in our house, she is extremely friendly and she's chill with people. But if we are at the house and somebody comes to the house, she does still get very scared because this is her space. So we're still working on that. She has learned that if somebody comes and sits down on the couch, that we have invited them over and they're going to stay and she'll calm down a little bit. But if they stand up again, she will start barking again. It's ridiculous. Envious Raven, cheers. But she is the sweetest puppy dog. Love Dove. I just found out I have Addison's disease. Oh my gosh, you have it too. I vaguely knew that like people could have it, but I actually haven't met anyone who has it. I've met a couple dogs that have had it because, you know, my dog has it. So it's like, oh, she has it. And they're like, oh, hey, my dog has it too. But I actually haven't met anyone else who has it. That is very interesting. And yeah, I imagine it's probably really stressful. Hopefully I'm like describing it well. Like I only know it from like the owner of a dog's perspective. I definitely don't know it from like my own personal perspective. So if I'm saying something wrong or describing it really badly, please jump in and correct me and help me so I can learn how to better advocate for other people and for my dog. 4747 Maya, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Oh, bless her. I have 2 chihuahuas and the baby's currently beside me on the couch, not leaving my side. Aw, that's so sweet. Okay, so, Maddie, we are finishing a Pokemon hoop. What size hoop would you like to finish? We have 4, 5, 6, and 7-inch hoops on deck. But I swear, you guys are definitely starting to get down to my last few. I'm gonna have to go. I'll have to watch it next day. Today's going to be a long day for me. Oh, Lou and Matt, have a great day. And I hope that even though it's long, that it goes well. I'll see you next time. 6. Okay, let's pull out. Let me set that down. Oh. Yes, you described it perfectly. Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad that I like was able to kind of convey it. Like trying to convey medical stuff into like layman's terms is something that I strive really hard to like do a decent job at. What the heck? Is it blue? It might be blue. Hold on. No, you're my 7-inch hoop. Where's my green folder? Green. There you are. Come here. Okay. Kerflum. Espeon. Yes, we're going to get back to stitching Espeon in just a minute. First, we're going to finish the back of another hoop. So, Maddie, you redeemed the finished Pokemon hoop. Maddie has decided we're doing a 6-inch hoop. So, you're going to... Oh, I have quite a few 6-inch hoops. Apparently, you guys favor me finishing all the other ones. So, you have quite a few to choose from. We've got Raichu. We've got Marowak. We've got Graveler. We've got Golem. We've got a Venomoth, Poliwhirl, and Beedrill. So, which one would you like me to finish? And while you do that, I'm going to find a 6-inch hoop. Okay. That's not. Are you? You're a 5. You're a 5. You're a 6-inch hoop, I think. Yeah, I got it right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Golem. Okay. Oh no, Maddie says 5th one. Okay, so Envious Raven, I let Maddie, so whoever redeems the finish a Pokemon hoop gets to choose the size and the Pokemon that we're finishing based on ones that I've already stitched up. By the way, I have started stitching off screen because I'm gonna run out of these and then you guys won't be able to redeem any anymore, which is sad. So today I started stitching the Spring Deerling. But I still don't think I'm going to be able to keep pace with you guys. You guys usually have, like, you guys are usually redeeming like 2 to 3 a night. And I just can't stitch that many between streams, and I stream twice a week. So you guys are having me finish about 5 a week, and there's no way I could finish 5 a week. Not unless I was stitching all day, every day, which I would love to do. But no, that's okay. You're totally fine. This I saw earlier, this was like your first time in the chat room and everything. That's totally okay. I just wanted to let you know, like, how I tend to do things. And that's okay. If you would like to get to pick one, then when you redeem, you get to pick. And that's just the way I do it. That way you feel like you get to, like, have a part of it, you know? 5th one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so here we go. We're going to be finishing Venomoth. Let's put my folder away. Get in there. Here we go. Duh, too many pieces. Don't know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. So it looks like Venomoth was actually pretty centered before I pulled it out of its hoop. So I'm not entirely sure why I did that. I probably did it to reuse the hoop, honestly. Because, yeah. So, tighten this down a bit. I would love to stitch all day, every day. Me too, Kaley. Me too. A little bit of chaos for everyone. Always. A little bit of chaos is always going to happen on my stream. That's just the way it is. I feel like I missed something. Your hat looks so snuggly. Thank you, Giordan. My hat is cozy, and I was cold today. I am wearing tights under my jeans, and I'm wearing a flannel under my sweatshirt because that's how cold I was today. It wasn't even particularly cold. I was just cold. I've been cold for like 3 days. I don't even know why. I have to go. My train will be arriving soon, but it was nice to see you. Thank you for coming and hanging out, Raven. Okay. I just thought of a cool idea you might like. What is that? I like cool ideas. This one's so pretty. Purple is my favorite color. Aw, thank you. I think someone redeemed to switch classes. Yes, I do have a couple redemptions after this. I go in order, so until I finish this one off, I don't redeem anything else. Because otherwise I start getting confused and I start redeeming things twice and it's a whole mess. So I just make sure I go in order one at a time. Okay, so this is a little bit too close to these edges over here for me to be able to sew that down. So I'm gonna go with the super glue method of backing it. So here we go. If you cross stitch and you've never seen me do this method before, I promise it will be okay. It just looks terrifying. I promise it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna double check, make sure he's like really solidly in his hoop, because once I start cutting, there is no going back. What size is the Ninetales? The Ninetales that's on my wall is, I believe, a 7-inch hoop, I think. But that is an old pattern that somebody else made. I have not made my own Ninetales pattern yet. So at some point I will replace that Ninetales. So I don't know what size my Ninetales pattern is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty close to that size hoop, honestly. Because I think Vulpix is in a 5-inch hoop, and usually they're about 2 inches apart-ish in size. Close to, depends. I just been shivering all day at home, but the UK is just always cold. Oh man. I just moved from the West Coast to the East Coast of the United States. And when I lived on the West Coast, I lived in Southern California. And that is a desert, if you didn't know. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's the beach. And I'm like, it's a desert. It is a desert on the beach, but it's still a desert. And so when people are like, oh, it's sunshine, doesn't ever rain there, because it's a desert. So I'm not super used to weather yet, and like not super used to temperature changes. Like, it does get hotter in the summer. We get up to, 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. But I'm not used to it getting cold. It really doesn't get below 50 at the coldest, really. It might drop into the high 40s at night, but like, that's it. It doesn't snow where I'm from. So 33 years of living in a desert, I'm not having like a hard time adjusting. It's just like, sometimes I don't know what to wear. And so like, today, it started raining. Luckily I was dressed warm because I was cold already, but like, I don't always like remember ahead of time that like you should always pack a jacket no matter where you go. And it got up to 70 for a little while, and then all of a sudden it started raining and it got cold, so Okay, I need my pliers to get this freaking cap off of this thing. I've returned with pizza. Hello, and welcome to you and your pizza. Alright. So for the hoops, you could put like the username of the person who redeemed the hoop, finish, and that way it's a little memory of who chose to finish it. Ooh, that would be cool. I wonder how I could do that. I will have to think about that, because I'm not 100% sure how I can do that. But that would be really cool. I'm gonna have to noodle around with that a bit in my brain. Okay, so I did not explain my process at all as I was doing this particular one, so I apologize for that if you are new and watching and going, what in the hell is she doing? This is E6000. It smells to high heaven. This is not my favorite method to finish a hoop, but I bit myself in the butt by not giving myself enough fabric around the edges to finish it by sewing the back. So this is what I have to do to get it in the hoop. My reason for not particularly liking this is, 1, it stinks. 2, it stinks. 3, it takes a while to dry, so I can't immediately put it up on the wall like I could with a sewn back. And also because I have kittens and kids and stuff, I have to go banish it to the downstairs bathroom overnight while it like dries and sets. 3, oh my god, it stinks. And 4, it is permanent. So once it is in this hoop, you're not going to be able to remove it from this hoop. So it is a permanent finishing method. So yeah, for lots of reasons, it's not my favorite. Also, it stinks. Did I say that yet? Because it really, really does. I need to go banish this before I catch up on chat real quick. So give me just a moment to go stick it in the bathroom where no one else will have to smell it. Oh my god. Okay. You're gonna have to smell Venomoth stank. You're just gonna have to deal. You can use the upstairs bathroom if you don't like it. He's down here like, how dare you? I mean, he's messing with me this time. Okay. Here we go. Let's pull Espeon back. Oh, you are like right in Espeon's face. There we go. I suppose I should put Espeon back where it goes. There we go. Hold on. Before I move the cameras around. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna get caught up on chat, so give me just a second. Hello, Chibi. How you doing? I'm so sick, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit better watching this. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm sorry you're feeling sick. We're headed for an El Nino season, and I welcome the rain. It might actually soak in for once. Are you on the West Coast? Because yeah, when we moved out here to Maryland in January, the West Coast was getting flooded. So I was like, oh yes, El Nino year. It's been 7 years since the last one, so it's about on track. It was a nice sunny day for me, 44 degrees, and I was in a light sweater. That's cold. That's sunny or not, that's cold. That's cold. Oh gosh, that's a big change. My sister lives in Australia now and shivers through a UK summer when she's here. Yeah, it's been a big change, but that's okay. I like it. I'm actually getting weather for the first time in my life, which is super cool. I'm in Southern California for context. Okay, yeah. So I just moved from Southern California. I lived in Orange County, grew up there my whole life, lived there for 33 years, and now I'm on the East Coast. You're supposed to use E6000 in ventilated space because it's toxic. Yes. I know this doesn't look like a ventilated space. I'm actually in like a nook, and it's not even like enclosed. This room is like actually 20 feet long and like 12 feet wide. It's actually a really, really big room. I promise I'm in a big room and ventilated. It just stinks. But the reason I lock it in the bathroom is because that's the only place in my house that I can lock it overnight, so that it can get the smell out and everything. Because I have the kittens and I don't want them stepping in it and I don't want the kids touching it. So we do have upstairs bathrooms, so I lock it in the downstairs bathroom. And we have 2 bathrooms upstairs. So we'll just use the upstairs bathroom and leave the downstairs bathroom be while Venomoth airs out. Hi Vex, how you doing? It stinks, it smells, it's got funk, and finally did you mention the odor? I did, over and over. OC, we probably crossed paths, but also not helping people believe you that it's a desert, not a beach. It is a desert, it's not a beach. It is a desert. It's a scrub desert, I will give you that. It is a scrub desert, but it is still a desert. Espeon looks good. Oh, thank you. Okay, hold on. Over here. Over here. Hold on, making sure. I've just realized I'm 1 to 2 combs off of my confetti stitch. No! J-Cat, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Where do you find the patterns? I design my own patterns. They're available through my Etsy shop or my Patreon. So if you're looking to buy, honestly, if you are looking to buy more than three or more patterns, check out my Patreon. You can get access to the entire library of Pokemon patterns that I've created so far for $12 a month. That's cheaper than buying 3 of my patterns through my Etsy shop, which are $5 a piece. So I highly recommend checking it out. I have 44 patterns available already. I add at least 4 new ones every month. This month I'm also going to be adding Pokeball designs and like some bookmarks, some Pokeball bookmarks and like some things like that. So on top of the 4 new Pokemon that I'm adding. So yeah. The link to all of that is, if you're on TikTok, the link to all of that is in my bio. If you are on Twitch, this is the link to get access to all the fun stuff. I'm glad I just met you. Oh, I'm glad I met you too. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Michelle, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Which one is this? We are working on Espeon tonight. I actually just realized I have to do the entire block I just finished. No! I'm so sorry. Does it have a smell? It does. U6000 is gross, guys. I cannot state that enough. I cannot. Literally just got done frogging my flower petal. Oh no, frogging is the worst. Where did you get your hoop holder? So the link to the hoop holder that I use is linked in my bio, but I got mine from Michael's. It's the Loops and Threads craft stand, and I use it all the time, and I love it. But yeah, you can like click through and like find exactly the exact same one that I use. Which hoop did you just finish? We just finished off Venomoth. And then I locked it in the bathroom because it's stinky now. Have you done a Deden? I have not done anything Gen 6 and later, and I believe Deden is from Gen 6. I have only done stuff from Gen 1 through 5 with the exception of Sylveon. Because they changed their art style when they went from 5 to 6, they stopped doing like the pixelated art style and they went to like 3D rendering and stuff. And it's much harder to convert into cross-stitching like well. So I'm still kind of trying to play with that and figure out how to do it in a way that I like and that I don't hate. But yeah, so no, I have not done Deden. I'm making a prop for my cosplay, which is due on Saturday. I have a con. Ooh, very exciting. I'm taking a pause on Jigglypuff till I get the rest of the colors and stitching Eevee version 2 for my kiddo. Oh, very exciting. Your luck with the colors, I swear, Kaley, I am so sorry. Like, holy jeez. Every single one missing, like, one color. What is your name on Twitch? It's the same as it is on here, except it's a 0 instead of an O in soup. So alphabet soup with a 0. And that is also linked through my bio. Everything's just linked through there. It's all clicky link. I have a list. I'm going to Michael's tomorrow and I won't leave till I get them. You're gonna stand and boycott. What is it? No, you're gonna siege the Michaels until they give you all of that. I have like 5 to finish that are all off by like 1 or 2 colors. I know you keep posting pictures of like all the ones you're like, this is what I'm working on. You're stitching like so fast, and then like all of a sudden it needs just like 1 more color. That is the most frustrating thing in the world for me, to be so close and just like run out of a color or like not have 1 color left. And Brian got so sick of like running to the store for me for 1 more color that he was like, I want you to sit down and make me a list of all of the colors that you don't have yet. Like, just, I don't care how many there are, whatever ones you don't own yet, make a list and give it to me. And so I did, and he went to the store and bought me like the last 30 colors that I needed. So I legitimately have every color of DMC floss now, which is a lot. There's like almost 500 colors. I have so many. That's true love right there. It really is. Also, he was sick of having to drive, 30 minutes each way to go to the store to get them more. Because I'd be at home working on one and I'd be like, oh shoot, I'm out of this color. Okay, so we're doing more color blending because I ran out of that piece. So for those of you who weren't here earlier when I was explaining color blending is where you're going to use 2 colors instead of 1. So normally when you're stitching, you have 2 strands of floss that you are stitching with. So like that, you would stitch with 2 strands of floss. So when you're color blending, you're going to take a single strand of 1 color. Let me pull this one apart. I'm going to separate it from its friends. Come off. There we go. So you're going to have 1 strand of 1 color, and that is that color right there. And then we're going to take another strand of this color. No, stay up there. Don't jump off. Stay. Rude. So rude. Okay, so then we're going to take a strand of this color, and we're going to smush them together. If I could. So once again, we're gonna peel a single strand away from his buddies. Give it to me. Does anyone else eat Mars bars from the top down? I have never had a Mars bar. I have a feeling, I don't think it's a very American candy, at least not anymore. I think it used to be American candy. not anymore. Okay, so here's that first color we had. Where'd the second one go? What the heck? Here it is. Okay, so we are gonna take the end of each of these. Can you come over here, please? Okay, so we're gonna like pinch the ends together. An entire little knot. There we go. Your TikTok's got me hooked on cross stitch. I've been having fun with it. I am really, really glad that you're having fun with it, Kaley. I am an enabler, and I am here to get everyone into cross stitch. I get most, Chibi says, I get most of my floss from Hobby Lobby. Michael's was missing colors last time I was there. You know what? Joann's, where I live now, is always missing so many colors. It's like pretty much not even worth it to go into the store anymore. So we were driving further to go to the Michael's because they at least had the colors I was looking for. But yeah, it was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But now I have all the colors. So now I just have to worry about when I start running low, I put it on the grocery list. And that way, like whenever we're down in that area already for like groceries or whatever, we just swing in and get whatever colors I'm low on. So I'm like trying to be proactive and not actually run out of colors anymore. We'll see how long I can keep that up. But yeah. Oh my gosh, thread, thank you. Okay, so now we've threaded them both together and we can get stitching. Tosh says, have you done a ditto? I have done a ditto. There's a ditto right there. And I also have a pattern for my own ditto. This is the old ditto. A lot of these ones that are up on the wall are the old patterns that somebody else made because I've been working on making all of the original 150 for about 15 years now. And then the person that originally had made patterns for all of the original 150 took them all off of the internet. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to make my own patterns now. So I am literally starting fresh. I'm starting my 150 all over again. So there's only a few up here on the wall that are my patterns so far. And also I started stitching my patterns and then I was like, oh, I don't like how some of these are turning out. So I made a version 2. So Haunter is version 1 and I will be restitching him. Eevee is version 2. The 3 starters are version 1, so I'm gonna have to restitch all of them. Sylveon is version 1, but like I was saying earlier, I haven't really figured out a good way to like convert the newer generations into the old sprite like style. So for now, Sylveon's gonna stay. But Leafeon and Glaceon are version 2 as well. Everything else is gonna get replaced. And I've talked about like a few different ideas I have for replacing all of the rest of these. I've talked about like selling them. I've also talked about like doing some like charity streams or things like that where I auction them off or like some stuff like that. So I have some ideas for like what to do with some of these guys as I replace them. But for right now, the only ones that I have replaced are Abra and Eevee. Abra and Eevee. And my partner took both of those to his office. So they live in there now. And Vulpix. I also replaced Vulpix. So those live in my partner's office now. So apparently I'm not selling those ones or auctioning them. They just live there now. We'll see. He may end up just stealing all of them one by one as I make new versions of them. I don't know. But yeah. I almost forgot today was live day. I almost forgot that today was live day too. I was sitting upstairs on the couch with my partner and he was like, don't you have to go live in like 6 minutes? And I was like, yes, I do. And then I came downstairs and had camera issues, so I was late anyway. It's been a weird day, guys. Like, I don't even know what is up today. Today was one of those days that I just didn't. Hello, Kuma. Do, 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 do. There's tons of colors, there's just never the ones I need. Dude, how do they do that? I swear it's like they only have the colors that nobody wants in stock at all times. It's just, it's all like the odd colors, and all of the most commonly used colors are bought out all the time. But of course, those are the ones you need. But yeah. Sylveon has weird proportions in pixel form. It does. And that's why I've left Sylveon as big as it is. So all of the other evolutions fit into, so Eevee's in a 4-inch hoop, and Glaceon's in a 6-inch hoop because Glaceon's so wide because of the big ears, like the big ear tail things sticking out. Those aren't ears. What the heck are they? They're like mutton chops. Glaceon's mutton chops stick out so far that it needs to be in a 6-inch hoop and doesn't fit in a 5-inch hoop like all the rest of them. But all the rest of the evolutions that I've made do fit into 5-inch hoops, except for Sylveon. And Sylveon is in an 8-inch hoop because as soon as I try to make it smaller, like, it just warps for some reason. Like, for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. And I honestly think it's because Sylveon is so much more detailed and has so much more going on, than the rest of them. Like, the rest of them are just a lot simpler. Maya, you should make an Eevee evolution pack. I did, when I had the version 1 patterns, I did have an evolution bundle that I sold on my Etsy shop. And since I made the version 2s of everything but Sylveon, I haven't added the bundle back to the shop. And the reason I haven't is because I now have a Patreon. And so with so the bundle, I gave 20% off if you bundled all of Eevee and the evolutions together. So it was $36 for all of the evolutions. But if you support Patreon at $12, you get access to Eevee and all the evolutions and all of the other Pokemon patterns that I've also made. So part of me is like, you know, I should do this because, like, I can theoretically make more money if people don't notice that I have a Patreon or don't want to support me on Patreon or whatever. But also part of me is like, if you just do it through Patreon, even if you only support for 1 month, like, it's way cheaper for you than buying the evolution bundle for $36. Like, it hurts my brain, and I want to help people save money, and I don't want people to be like, I spent $36 and I didn't know that I could get all of them for $12 a month. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to feel like they got ripped off because they, like, didn't know about the Patreon or, like, for whatever reason. So I have had a couple people reach out on Etsy and be like, hey, do you offer an evolution pack? And I just tell them straight up, I'm like, hey, if you want all of the patterns, like, just support me on Patreon for 1 month, and, like, if you have to cancel after a month, no hard feelings. I understand, like, that we live in a capitalist hellscape, and if you can't afford to support for more than 1 month, I'm not going to be upset about that. But that's kind of where I'm at, is like, I don't know, like, I don't make very much money from Etsy on its own. Like, Patreon is honestly, like, a much more reliable source of income for me. And because I get that feedback from my patrons of, like, what patterns they'd like to see, and we have the patrons only Discord and things like that, and, like, we cheer each other on as we're working on projects and as we're finishing stuff and stuff like that. I really like the community that it's building as well. So I just really like the Patreon aspect a lot better than just having an Etsy shop. Even though I know that, like, theoretically I could make more money if I only sold on Etsy. I don't like it as much. I don't like the constant need to drive traffic because Etsy doesn't drive traffic to my shop. And I like with Patreon that I actually get to like talk to people and get to know them, and they get to know me, and I can answer questions if they have them and things like that. That it's just, it doesn't work the same. It doesn't work as well if everything is just through Etsy. But those are my personal feelings. Not everybody feels that way, and that's okay. And that's why I do have both, is because some people don't want to do Patreon or can't support or feel guilty if they can only support for 1 month and don't want to do that, even though I tell them like, hey, it's fine, I have no hard feelings. If you only want to support for 1 month, download everything that I've got on there and then unsupport, like, go for it. I understand. Supporting you occasionally for a month or two on Patreon probably supports you more than random buys on Etsy because it adds up. Yeah, exactly. So even, you know, even just having, like, even when I just had a couple of patrons, you know, knowing that, like, hey, you have this coming in every month. And like I said, like, it really allows me to create a community with them and also, like, make sure that I'm offering them things that they're interested in. Which is why, like, when y'all sit here and go, like, hey, what about this? Like, have you thought about this? Like, I'm all for it. Tell me what your ideas are. What is it you'd like to see? I know that my patrons were like, hey, we'd like to see some shiny patterns. And I was like, cool. I can start putting those together. So I started putting together shiny patterns, and we were brainstorming, like, you know, how I could release them and stuff like that. So we have this plan that once I get the shiny patterns made for all the Pokemon that I've released already, I'm gonna add that as a reward here on Twitch, that you can, like, unlock a shiny pattern for the patrons. And when you do that, it's gonna be random. They're not gonna know, we're not gonna know which one you've unlocked when you hit that button. It's just like running into a shiny in the wild. You don't know what you're gonna run into. And then that will unlock the shiny pattern over on the patron library so that they will have access to that shiny pattern then. So I thought that that was, like, a really fun way to include not just the patrons but also the Twitch viewers, because they can unlock them even if they don't get access to the patterns. They can still, you know, participate in some of the fun and help help the patrons unlock shiny Pokemon and stuff like that. So and that was something that they were all really excited about. So they've also, that's why I started working on the Pokeball patterns for the bookmarks and stuff. I'm also working on a gym badge pattern because they have said that they're interested in that. So yeah, I get to be like, hey, what are you interested in? And let me focus on those things. Because like I said, too many ideas in the brain, not enough hours in the day. I need a direction. So I like that they get to tell me what direction they want me to move in and, you know, what they'd like to see. So that makes me happy. Oh shoot, there were some redemptions that I forgot to do. Let me scroll up because I closed the window. Hold on. Okay. So Maddie had finished a Pokemon hoop. Okay, Envious Raven told me to switch glasses. I missed that. I apologize, Raven. Here we go. Okay, I switched glasses. Hydrate. Lou and Matt are hydrating. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. Maya, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, Rose, we are finishing a Pokemon hoop. Are we finishing a 4, 5, 6, or 7-inch hoop? I don't trust Etsy. I keep getting ripped off. Yeah, Etsy's fees are also really high. That's also part of why I'm happier. I'm happier, even if people are only supporting me for a month, I'm happier with them supporting me for 1 month on Patreon rather than doing even a couple of purchases. Like, even if I could make more money on Etsy, Etsy is upsetting with the fees. So, like, I have my patterns are up there for $5 because if they're less than that, I'm paying so much in fees that it's just not worth it to even put them up. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, I genuinely don't know how people put patterns up for like $1.25. Like, you're not making any money off of that at all unless you're selling 1,000 of them a month. And like, I don't understand. Vex says I got new earrings today. Very cool. All right, big boy, 7-inch hoop. All right, let's get the blue folder out. How many are you? All right, I think we only have a few of these left. All right, who are we doing? Rose, we've got Firo, we've got Kingler, Muck, and we've got Pidgeotto. So we've only got 4 of the big boys left. You guys are... Ah! Sorry, I attacked the phone. I apologize. I did not mean to. Need a 7-inch hoop. I need a 7 thingy. You're not. I need a 6-inch hoop. I can tell just by looking at you. Uh-oh. Hold on. I might be out of 7-inch hoops. That's a 9-inch hoop. That is way too big. Get out of there. Fighting me. Pigeon. Okay, hold on. Too many hoops. All right, you're 5s. You're a 6. You're a 6. You're all 5s. You're a 9. That's too big. That's too big. Come on. That's not it. Where are my 7-inch hoops? Those are 4s, 5s, and 6s. Come on. Gimme. Ooh. I got one. Here we go. All right. I found a 7. Is this a problem? Yes. Am I going to solve it now? No. Get in there. Ring toss. Yes, I could do a ring toss with all of these freaking hoops. Oh my gosh. All right, Gabby says, I want to learn how to cross stitch so bad, but I don't know where to start. You are in the right place, my dear. If you would like to learn how to cross stitch and you don't know where to start, linked in my bio is a how to cross stitch guide that I put together. And as you go through it, you can send me messages here in the live if you have any questions. You can also comment on any of my videos and I will make a video response answering your question and helping walk you through whatever step it is that you need a little extra help with. You can also reach out to me through my Etsy shop. And ask me questions through there, and I can do my best. I won't be able to video reply to those ones, but I can answer you through there as well. If you become one of my patron supporters, you get, access to some Pokemon patterns and things like that, as well as my patron Discord, where you can message me there as well as get feedback from other members of my patron community. Once we hit, I haven't really talked about this. Once we hit 20 patrons, and we're getting pretty close, I am going to start doing some regular craft night hangouts over there as well, like separate from my lives here. And so the really cool thing about that is we're going to be working together in real time, and you will get to turn your cameras on if you want to. And if not, you'll at least be able to voice chat back. So I'll be able to hear your voice and it's not just going to be me talking the whole time. Plus, we'll be able to listen to better music. While I appreciate Game Chops and the remastered video game music, I like my playlists better. I just can't put them on stream. But yeah, hopefully, some of that might tickle your fancy. Have you ever thought about tying your hoops together by size? They wouldn't fit in my drawer if I did that. I actually have like an excessive number of hoops. My partner is going to help me make like a pegboard thing for my wall so that I can hang them up. It will help me keep a better inventory of how many I have in each size, as well as make it way, way easier for me to grab what size I need when I need it. But yeah, Yana, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. Always put the hoop on wrong. Any tips? How is it that you're putting it on wrong? Like, I need more information as to what the problem is. I guess. Why grid in the back? I grid in the back so that when I'm first starting out, I don't have to start in the center and work my way out. I like to start with the black. So as you can see, like on this piece, like there's a little black and a little black and a little black, and it's just kind of spotty all over the place. So by gridding in the back, I can count easier and not make as many mistakes, especially when I'm first starting. And then once I get my outline, like you can kind of see on Espeon, because Espeon's a little bit more outlined than Pidgeotto is, then I don't have to look at the back as much, and I just go based off of my outline to continue stitching. But that's why I personally grid the back. Some people will put their grids on the front using a Frisian marker or a wash away marker. I don't like doing that because I don't want any additional steps between me being finished stitching and me hooping it. So if you use a Frisian pen, you're going to have to iron it once you're done to sort of melt away the ink. It's going to make the ink disappear. And if you use the wash away, then you're going to have to wash it, and then you're going to have to dry it, and then you possibly have to iron it if it got wrinkled and things like that. So like I said, I'm big on the fewest number of steps possible from start to finish. So for me, that means I just put the grid on the back, and once it's done and it's hanging on the wall, you can't even see that I did a grid. I just do it in pencil. But yeah, those are the reasons why I do the grids. And that's in your patrons Discord. So yes, the craft night thing, once we hit 20 patrons, that is going to be in the patrons Discord. That's not going to be in the public Discord. The public Discord, we don't have a craft night. If somebody wanted to host one, they would absolutely be welcome to do that. But I think it would be really cool to do one, especially for my patrons, since they're my biggest supporters. So I'm once again going to be doing the super glue method on the back of this one because I was silly and cut real close to the edge of this fabric. I didn't give myself enough fabric to hoop this and sew the edges. So that's okay. We're going to pull the E6000 out again. And Pidgeotto can go join Venomoth and be banished in my bathroom for the night. By morning they'll be fine and I'll be able to move them back out here. I'm just going to trim up the edges just a little bit. Come on. Why won't you trim? Okay, I know that this song is a remix of like something from Animal Crossing because it's KK Slider, but does anyone else like just despise KK Slider as much as I do with the little like voice? Like every time he was on my island, I just was like, no, go away, sir. Where would this be again? System of the Damned. Can you clarify where would what be? Rekka Jack, thank you for the ice cream cones. I appreciate that. Like, is the fabric supposed to be warped permanently when I'm done? Is the fabric supposed to be warped permanently when I'm done? No. So this one is going to be permanently hooped because I cut my fabric too close to the edge. But if you sew the back, it doesn't have to be permanent. Like I could unpick this stitch and then pull him out and like put him in a different hoop or put him in a little picture frame or something like that. But with this particular method, because I cut it so close to the edge and that's 100% my fault, this is going to be a permanent hoop job. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's definitely a bunch of different ways that you can finish off the backs of your pieces. Let me just subscribe real quick. Thank you, I appreciate that. Sam, you guys are amazing. I love you. Once I finish all the current ones, I will sign up to Patreon and we'll start the journey. Yes, more people on the Pokemon journey. Gotta stitch them all. That's the motto. You gotta do them all. Or at least the first 5 generations, because that's all I can make right now. Because I need to figure out how to do the later gens. But for right now, the first 5 gens is still going to take me quite a while to put together all the patterns for. I have patterns for 44 of them so far. Sort of random hodgepodge of them. But I do talk to my patron community every month, and I'm like, hey, which ones would you guys like to see? Here's what I was thinking about possibly making this month. And then they get to kind of poll power their way through, you know, whichever ones get the most votes pop up in the library the next month. So that's kind of fun, and they get a little bit of anticipation to see if, you know, the one that they wanted to see the most made it and things like that. I know this month there was a whole bunch of them that all like tied and had the same number of votes. So I had to pull out the Ducky Dice of Destiny and be like, all right, which ones are making the cut? Which ones are joining the library now? So that was fun for me. Nobody got to see it. I should have taken a video, but that was behind the scenes. Maybe next time I'll try and take a video of me doing that. Okay, I need to put E6000 on my list because I'm like not out, but close. And this stupid thing, it's not closing. I've been working on a presentation I'm doing tomorrow, putting too much effort in. Now I'm tired. Oh, tired. Time for babies. Okay, hold on. I need to go banish Pidgeotto. I would show you the front. Hold on. I might be able to show you the front. Doop! There's the front. Okay. I'm going to go banish him to the bathroom. Because he a stinky boy. Alright. Banished. And we're back. If I can sit down without falling over, that would be fantastic. It's not gonna happen. I always fall over. Okay. Okay, Espeon, you are way too close for comfort. Ma'am, I need you to back up. There we go. Alright. Yes, KK's voice is creepy to me. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I feel like some people are like rabid KK fans, and I'm like, why? I don't understand. Please, someone explain this phenomenon to me. Okay, hold on. We had, okay, finished Pokemon Hoop. Hydrate. Akuma. Cheers. And Akuma, we also redeemed a pet treat time. I just fixed my cameras, but that's okay. Okay, hold on. It's pet treat time for the baby. And my other babies are upstairs. They're not downstairs with me tonight. So just Clover, so she's gonna get 2. Because she is the best girl. Oh, good girl. You gotta come back for another one, okay? Oh, I'm almost out. I gotta refill this. There's only a couple left. You don't choke on it. Don't choke on it, or I can't give you another one. Hi, baby. That was rude. Yum, yum, yum. Say thank you, Akuma. Yeah, you say thank you. Come here. You say thank you. Oh, the cat heard pet treats. And she's yelling at the door. Okay, I will go get her. I don't know if you guys can do. I don't know if it's her or him. Who is it? Did you hear what it's pet treat time? Where's your sister? Where's your chaos sibling? Where's your sister? Where's your twin? If I shake it, she'll probably come running. He's like, I heard it was treat time. Oh, you dropped it. Oh, there she is. Wednesday, up here. Good girl. They were completely upstairs, and he heard the dog getting a treat, and he was like, excuse me, and was yodeling at the door for me to let him down here so that he could have treats too. So, just saying. They are way too smart. They knew. Okay. All right, Akuma, switching glasses for Akuma over here. I gotta put those down. All right, here's the other ones. All right, Kaley, hydrate twice. Cheers, cheers. Just kidding, hydrate 3 times. Cheers. Squishy but magical, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Ms. L, did you happen to put hydrate on a long cooldown? It might have like a 1-minute cooldown because y'all did try to drown me and I had to pee like 3 times on stream and then immediately after and then again before bedtime, and mind you, bedtime was only a half hour later, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and had to pee again, and I was like, no. It was too much and I thought I was dying, okay? It was too much. I can hear, dude, he's a loud kitten. Wait, they're working? Yeah, they are. They were popping through. I just hadn't caught up yet. Squishy but magical, you just came over from the TikTok stream. Welcome. I didn't see any reward redemptions. I see them on my end. All right, squishy but magical. We're switching the glasses again. Oh, switching glasses. I go blind in between. It's okay. Hello. All right, Kaley. Cheers. Stop clicking it. I was goblin in training over on TikTok. Awesome. Thank you. I probably won't remember that. I'm so bad with names. I will just know who you are here and then know who you are there, and it won't be in my brain hole. It won't stick that it's the same person. I'm so bad about that. And especially like when people jump over like to the Discord and stuff like that too, like it takes me so long to figure out who everybody is. Like, I finally figured out that Kaley is Mrs. Tasty, but that took me like way too long to figure out. All right, it was answered already. Okay, cool, thanks. I'm stitching a light design on black Ida, but I want to outline it. What color should I use? I would say outline it in like white or light gray, something like that. I definitely wouldn't outline it in black because you won't see it on the black Ida. But it very much depends on what colors are used on your pattern. Yeah. My Pokemon journey will start after this cherry blossom. Nice. Love it. Sorry for all the questions. I promise I've asked people already. That's okay. You're absolutely fine to ask me questions. Sometimes it takes me a bit to catch up on the chat just because I am stitching and I'm also responding to the chat. I have 2 different chats going. I've got the TikTok and the Twitch chats going simultaneously. So sometimes I'll like hop over and catch up on one and then I fall behind on the other one. So it does happen, but I promise I do make sure that I do my absolute best to respond to everybody. I love your cross-stitch work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Your dog is gorgeous. Thank you. I think she thinks she's gorgeous too. Cecil, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Wait, my name is the same or at least close, right? Let me go check. Yeah, it is. I think it's close. It might not be the same, but I think it's close. It's all skin tones, whites and golds. I'm worried the white won't show up. Maybe choose like a slightly darker gold than what you've used so far, but something that'll still stand out against the black. Pale skin tone, sorry, character limits. That's okay. Yes, that's you. Yes. I see. I finally put it together. I finally was like, oh yes, this same person. Took me way longer than it should have. Like, for reals. I didn't know. My kiddo says hi. He's watching with me. Hello. How are you doing, kiddo? What things would you recommend getting for a beginner cross stitcher? So the things you absolutely need to cross stitch. A needle, DMC floss for whatever pattern you're stitching, and Ida cloth. Technically you don't, oh my god, hold on. I'm so sorry. My cat is up on the mantle again. And the last time she did that, she almost took out the plant. Yeah, stay down from there, miss. Bring the squirt bottle over here. So Ida cloth. You don't technically have to stitch on Ida, but I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're just starting out. So those are the 3 things that I would say are like necessary to start, but other things that I would highly recommend would be a hoop. Some people really like free stitching and they don't necessarily like putting their work in a hoop while they stitch. I found it a lot easier. And then a needle minder of some kind. While it's not strictly necessary, learn from my mistakes that a couch arm is not a needle minder and it's not a good place to leave your needles. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's not a good place to leave your needles. Please just trust me. But those are kind of the things that I recommend. He wanted to say hello. Hello. I'm gonna start learning in the next 4 weeks. Cool. I am a big supporter of people learning crafts like this. I think that crafts like this are really, really good, like, brain exercise, kind of. Like, it's good, like, I feel like it's a good for you type of craft or something like that. But also, I don't know, for me, it keeps my hands busy when I'm doing other things, like watching TV or listening to music or like things like that. It gives my hands something to do. You can listen to audiobooks, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. But yeah. But I need to be multitasking all the time. Rekka Jack, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. It's close enough to know one of them wouldn't let me have the same, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, probably. Would it work if I mixed white on the outside, black on the inside? Yeah, you could definitely do something like that. That would probably work. I definitely have a piece that's done on white Ida cloth that has some white backstitching and some black backstitching in different parts of it. So yeah, you could definitely like mix it up. It helps me with the anxiety and depresso espresso day. Yeah. Yep. What is your favorite hoop size? I really like working in like the 4 and 5 inch hoop range. The 3-inch ones tend to be a little hard to like actually hoop because they're so small. Sometimes the fabric is a little stiff and doesn't want to like work well in it. And the bigger ones I have a really hard time because then the fabric wants to get all loose and floppy on the inside. Wednesday! Don't go up there, little girl. She is being trouble. She is being trouble. Okay, I only have 3 more stitches of this color. Can I do it with this last little bit of thread so I don't have to blend any more? Here we go for thread chicken for 3 stitches. Oh my god. This is such a small piece of thread. Here we go. Thread chicken. Me versus the thread. Currently working on a 10-inch. That was a mistake. Yeah, I had a couple of 9-inch ones that I just finished, and I haven't actually finished hooping them yet because I want to stain the hoops. So I need to get some stain and do that. But they're for my partner's birthday in a few weeks, so I need to get on that. Okay, here we go. Here's 2. Oh my gosh, this is like such a small amount of thread. Am I going to be able to tie off? Got the stitching. Can I tie the knot? Where's the floofy chaos gremlin going that she's not supposed to be? Up on the mantelpiece above the fireplace. There's a plant, a potted plant up there that she really wants to kill. She just wants to murder this poor plant who has done nothing to her. Ha. Did it. Yeah. She can't leave it alone. And it's like really high up. So the other problem is that her brother has wobbly cat syndrome. And so he's not, like, he's really wobbly. He's not so great with the balance and the coordination skills. And so he sees her up there and then he wants to get up there. And he fell off of it twice the other day because he followed her up there. And one of the times he fell off, he like landed really hard on his side on the ground. And so I'm trying really hard to keep her off of there because he only tries to get up there when she is up there. So that's the goal, is to keep her off so that he stays off. Because she can handle it. She's fine, other than the fact that she tries to kill the plant. But, you know. You can do it. I did it. Yays. I think 4 inches is my favorite. Yeah, I think like that 4 to 5 inch range. Like, it's nice. It's a good size. It doesn't take too long to get done, and like it's not too much of a pain in the butt to like finish it off and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Espeon's colors are so pretty. Aw, thank you, Milksop Boy. I'm gonna try redeeming when I get enough. I'm at 460 points. Nice. August is like, I be brave boy, I just wobble a little. Yeah, he's my little wobbly boy. He doesn't know that he's wobbly. That's the problem. He's so sweet. He has no idea. He has no concept of like, maybe I shouldn't do this. He's the sweetest little simpleton. What did you... He has his toy caught between his back legs and he couldn't find it. It was like he was literally like holding it with his back feet. And he should not be climbing things. He's not a very smart cat. He's a little bit inbred, but he's so sweet. It reminds me so much of my parents' dog Chewy. It reminds me of my parents had a dog when I was like a teenager named Porthos, and he was a basset hound, and he was also very inbred. Very sweet dog, very dumb dog. I didn't realize he was a CH kitty. He is, you know what? So he doesn't entirely look like it. He does have a very mild case of it. But he is definitely a wobbly cat, and like you can see it, especially like if you watch him walk from behind. When he's just walking, you don't notice it very much, but when he starts to run, his back end just kind of like drifts. Like he just doesn't have very much control of his back end. And when he jumps and when he lands, like jumping off of like a cat perch or things like that on the ground, he just doesn't have control of that back end, and so his whole back end will just like thump really hard to the ground because he can't like catch himself. But yeah, but it is pretty mild, so he's, you know, fully functional. He can handle, you know, pretty much everything else. He just shouldn't be climbing on the mantle. Chewy is smart, but Dex definitely is dumb stat. Yeah, exactly. August has 2 dump stats. It's intelligence and dexterity. The dexterity is not his fault. I mean, the intelligence isn't his fault either. I shouldn't say that. But he is a little inbred, so it is what it is. Okay, we are done with that color, so we get to have another poll on TikTok. Here we go. Oh my gosh, do the thing. Let me take that one off. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We have 7 colors left to vote on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if you are on TikTok, you can vote in the poll. The little button is just down there somewhere, and you can click on it and be like, "Hey, what color should I stitch next?" And then you get to vote 1 through 7. These three are more color blended colors that are going to get blended with like some dusty purples, and I think this one gets blended with like a dark dusty blue, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, that's what I got. And in the meantime, I'm gonna have a sip of tea. You can probably hear him in the background playing with his spring toy. It is his favorite toy on the planet. He's so sweet. What do you mean by blended? So what I just did, where I have two different colors and I take one strand of each of the two colors and put them together to stitch instead of having two strands of the same color. So normally when you're cross stitching, you're stitching with two strands at a time, but usually it's the same color. But yeah, so when we do color blending, I'll take one strand of this color and one strand of the other colors. But I can't like put them side by side to show like what's being blended, so I just have the other colors on the table. But here I can show that one would be blended with this one. This one would be blended with that one, and that one would be blended with this purple color to make new colors. New colors the DMC could only dream of. So yeah, the last one that I just stitched, I blended those two colors together. So both purples, but so the thing is, there are quite a few purple Pokemon. There's not very many colors of purple floss in DMC. Like there's only a few. So I've been finding that like color blending is the only way to get anywhere close to the true colors that they should be. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so there we go. We're gonna stitch that one, and let me double check, but I'm almost positive that that one, yeah, is. Uh-oh, that's not the right color. I may have grabbed the wrong color out of the box. This is not the right color. Well, I'm glad I caught that. Hold on. Please pause while I humiliate myself. Oh God. Okay. Because I can't read numbers. That goes there. Oh, here we go. That makes much more sense. It is a dark color. It's purple. I'm so sorry. I had the wrong color out the entire time. So those are the colors that are going to get blended together, not that blue that for some reason I pulled out on accident. When I started, I thought color blending would be so hard, but it's cake. Yes, I did too for like almost 2 decades. I avoided color blending because I was terrified of it, and it's so easy. Do you have to worry about the individual threads sit as you stitch when blending? Not really. It's not too bad usually. Because I make sure they lay flat, and like you just kind of like do this with your finger as you're like going down it, and it kind of like tries to wind them together a little bit. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, we're gonna pull off the piece and we'll kind of show what I'm talking about. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split a single thread off. Give me 1, not 2. Thank you. Hold on. Oh, split off, you darn thing. You don't want to. You want to be with your friends. I get that. Are you in a knot? Are you serious? I've got a knot in my thread. Like, just a whole freaking knot. You know what? Rude. In front of everybody. Everybody is watching you embarrass yourself, thread. Why would you do this? Okay. I'm just gonna set that aside. I will deal with you later. We're gonna get a new piece of floss. Do you have any kids? I do. I have 2 kiddos. They're sleeping. This one looks so good. Espeon's one of my favorites. Aw, how's your pals? You're back. I haven't seen you in a while. Wednesday? I'm literally just pointing this at her when she goes up there, and I don't even have to like spray her with it. She just runs away. She's such a freaking stinker. She went right for the plant. She went right for the plant. Freaking brat cat. Okay. Alright, that's too small. We're not doing that. Set that aside, set that aside. Okay. So I have 2 strands of this left. I'm gonna split one strand off. Set that one aside. Okay. So now we have 1 strand of this darker purple. And we have 1 strand of this brighter purple. Not blue. Don't know why I thought that was what was happening. Okay, so you can I can see the difference in the 2 of them. I don't know if you guys can. I don't think the cameras are picking up that brighter purple very well against my finger. So I'm gonna start by lining up the ends of it, tying it in a knot. I'm back only for a second. Hands been busy with baby. Aww. The baby. Okay. Are you going to do all of the Pokemon? I am on a journey to stitch all of the original 150 plus a couple extras. And some of the extras are the rest of the evolutions because you can't just leave them out. But yeah, so I am eventually going to do all of the original 150. And once I get done with those, we'll see. So what I'm going to do is because I'm blending these 2 different shades together, I'm going to run my fingers like down the entire length of it. And I just kind of like, I'm moving my fingers back and forth just a little bit, trying to like get the tiny fibers to catch with each other. Usually I do this with my other hand. So that's, and then when I run out of the 1 thread, I'm just going to snip right there so that they are the same length. So a little snip so that they're the same length. And then I'm going to thread the needle. And part of the nice thing about the color blending is that sometimes as I'm stitching, the brighter purple is going to lay kind of on top of the darker purple, and sometimes the darker purple is going to lay on top a little bit. And so you'll catch like a little bit of one color over the other color, but that's part of what makes it color blending. And it kind of makes like, especially if I were to start with one color in like a block and then do a section of the color blended and then do a section of the second color, you'd see it a lot more, especially like if you overlap in like a little bit of a grid pattern or like a checkerboard pattern right on the couple rows where they meet. It's gonna look a lot more like it's fading into each other. It does a really cool effect. Which is not quite what I'm doing here. This is more to get more accurate coloring closer. Really, Wednesday? This is more to get more accurate shading closer to what the original Pokemon sprites should be. What color are we doing? Okay, so this is going to be a little bit more of like an outline color. It's one of the darker shades. Your pets have the coolest names. Can you share all of them? So my dog's name is Clover, and she's 10 years old. I've had her since she was a tiny puppy. She was a rescue. And the kittens are Wednesday and August. They are 9 months old, and we rescued them off the streets. Their mom was a feral, who lived in our old neighborhood, and us and the neighbors had helped rescue a previous litter of hers, and so we noticed that she was pregnant again. And so we had been taking care of her the whole time she was pregnant, like trying to tame her and get her to come inside, and she wouldn't. She refused to be tamed. But after she had the babies, when they were about a month old, we were able to rescue her 2 kittens, bring them inside, get them flea meds, and we were or like flea treatments, and we got them spayed and neutered, and they have been with us ever since, and they're just the sweetest. But yeah, we tried really, really hard to get Mama to trust us, and she trusted us enough to let us have the babies. She was not, she wasn't like aggressive towards us when we took them from her and stuff, because I think she knew that they were going to a good home. And the day after we rescued them, she actually came by our house and came to the screen door, and we showed her the babies through the door, and she sniffed them through the door, and then she just turned around and walked away. And that was it. She just kind of accepted that this was their new home now, and that she came by to check and make sure they were okay, and that was really it. We were not able to catch Mama and get her spayed. We adopted these guys in the middle of August of last year, when they were about a month old, and we moved across the country the first week of January. So we tried, and we continued to try, basically up until we left, and we could not get her to come close enough to us to allow us to take her in to get her spayed and neutered, or spayed rather. So that was really unfortunate. And one of her daughters from her very first litter, we were not able to get off of the street, and so she is now, you know, of breeding age as well. And it was a really big feral colony, but there was only so much that we could do. So their mom's second litter we were able to get off the streets, and her third litter is these guys. So we were able to get 2 of her litters off the streets, spayed and neutered, but unfortunately we still were not able to catch her. So that was really upsetting, because she is a really sweet cat. She just was very skittish and didn't trust anyone. So, you know. Dream car. I don't have a dream car. I don't know like anything about cars. I have a car, but that's all I got. Aluminum foil on your mantle should discourage them from jumping on it. It usually doesn't take long for them to stop jumping up on things using this method. I should try that. Also, I think a little duct tape would work, because she introduced herself to duct tape the other day on accident. There was like a random like wad of it from like taking it off of something, and she got it stuck to her leg, and she was very upset. She did not like it at all. I'm so sorry I got distracted by your stitch pattern and missed the first half of that. Oh, so Clover is my dog, and the kittens are Wednesday and August. I wish there was a way to chemically spay and neuter cats without unaliving them. Yeah, I do as well. Part of the problem also is that, so we called their mom Tux, because when we first like saw her around, we just like, she's a little tuxedo cat, and so we called her Tux. We didn't know if she was a boy or a girl at first, because she was still, you know, very much a kitten herself. And I mean, we literally have been trying to catch her since she was a kitten. And she was probably about 2 years old when we moved. And so Tux is what we called her, and we just kind of got in the habit of calling her Tux. And there was another tuxedo in the neighborhood, and we called him Dapper, because he had this little round mustache on his face. And we knew he was a boy, and he was super, super human friendly. And we were like, oh, like, you're really friendly. And like, maybe we should try to rescue you. And then we found out he was actually the neighbor's cat. And so we see, you know, this little Tuxie girl going around. And we're like, she looks a lot like him. She's just not as fluffy as him. She was a lot more sleek. And I was like, no, he can't be the dad. Like, the neighbor would have had him neutered. No, we found out like the month before we moved that he's not neutered. So 100% he is Tux's dad. And we are like 90% sure that he is also August's dad. So he is both grandfather and dad to August, hence why we're like, yeah, he's a little inbred. We're pretty sure Wednesday has a different dad because there was a dark boy cat in the neighborhood as well. And she's almost entirely black. She's a little void. She has like the tiniest little like set of like 5 white whiskers on her side, or like on not her side, her like her chest or whatever. But other than that, she's all void. So we're pretty sure that Dapper is not her dad, but is her grandfather. So yeah, we're really, dude. And August is like Wednesday has the same build as her mom. Very sleek, very slim, very like she's a very petite cat, whereas August is a little chunky. And Grandpa Daddy Dapper was also a big boy. Big, fluffy boy. And August is definitely a lot fluffier than Wednesday and stuff like that. So that's kind of why we think what we think. Yeah, a bit of double-sided tape. Oh my gosh. Okay, Michaela's has redeemed thing. I'm gonna move this out of the way because they always step on it. Oh, here they come. They already know. Oh, he's on my lap. Hello, sir. Okay, excuse me. Clover goes first because she's the old lady. I'm gonna set you down. Clover gets to go. Excuse me. Oh, ow. Clover first. Good girl. Oh my god, your eyes are so big, sir. Okay, if you're gonna be rude, your sister gets to go first this time. Here you go, Wednesday. My little boy. Yep, hold on. I have to get the treat first. Ah! Gentle. 1. If you guys get 2, you get aggressive. More aggressive. Okay, you need to sniff my hand. You need to know that there's no more hiding. No more hiding, sir. Okay, goodbye. No more treats. I'm done with you. These 2, I swear. Okay. There we go. We're back to this. Can you show this section from the back when you're done? August is living out the song I'm my own grandpa, almost. Daddy's my grandpa. Gotta like put some tin foil in the pot around the plant that she keeps going after. That's what I gotta do. Alright, so this is the back of what it looks like. So you were talking about like the tail section, I guess? But yeah, this is what the back looks like so far. It'll start to look a little bit more like lots of up and down lines once I start filling in the middle. The edge tends to have more diagonals and stuff like that as I'm doing outline because I do little jumps. But when I do like bigger blocks, I tend to get more like up and down and side to side bits. Not too bad for rescue cats. They are really, really, really sweet cats. We got very lucky, and one of the reasons we got really lucky is that I feel like we adopted them like just at the perfect age. We still had to bottle feed them for a couple weeks after we got them, but we didn't have to worry about like baby cats don't know how to go to the bathroom by themselves. So like they were past that point, so like that was good. But we did bottle feed them for a bit before we started switching them over to like solid foods. But we really got to hand raise them because they were only about 4 or 5 weeks old when we took them in. So they have always been around people. I literally, like, they literally spent most of the day on my lap napping and then playing at my feet and things like that when they were tiny. So they're just really, really friendly babies. Which is, you know, kind of exactly what we were hoping for. Looks like arcane runes, if you ask me. It kind of does, yeah. I have no idea how you do it so quickly without messing up. 20 plus years of practice. And I do mess up sometimes. I really do. People on here who have been following me for any amount of time will be like, yep, she messes up sometimes, has to pull out stitches, especially like if I start talking too much and not paying as much attention to what I'm doing, I will make more mistakes, and usually it's small mistakes and I catch them fairly easily or like fairly quickly. But sometimes it's bigger mistakes and then I'm just like, and I have to do like a lot of frogging. But yeah. Lots and lots of practice. I'm working on getting another hoop for you to do. Oh, nice. Same. What time is it? Not even 10 yet. Okay. My head is hurting tonight. I've got 19 3/4 years of practice to go then. That's okay. You'll get there. You'll get there. I have been stitching for somewhere between, like, my best guess is that I started when I was like 9, 10, 11 years old. So if I was 10, I've been stitching for 23 years. So somewhere between like 22 and 24 years I've been stitching. So Wednesday. She took a flying leap off the mat. She's like, oh no! The struggle is real to get the hoop redemption points. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm gonna run out of hoops again. It wouldn't be the first time. I need to do another inventory and see what I've got. I'm okay on like 4 and 5 inch hoops, I think, but I think I'm running low on 7 inch hoops now. So I need to see what I need to order, because it's that time of the month to order more hoops. And I need to inventory my things. That was the boy cat thinking he could get up there and taking a fall down onto the ukulele and the piano. Yes, I hear you, sir. You're not supposed to be up there. I keep telling you that. You don't listen. Like, how? It's not a shallow mantle. It's a deep mantle. He's just that clumsy. This boy. Don't do it again. Yeah. What are you screaming at in the window over there? These cats. I swear. I'll be the death of me. I'm dead away. Oh my gosh. You guys. Alright. We gotta put together another strand of blended. So I only have one little piece of floss left on that color. So we're gonna split off another strand of bright purple. Stop screaming at me, sir. Go find your springy toy. Where's your springy toy? It's just the stupidity of kids. He's literally just walking around squawking. His tail is completely poofed out. Just walking around squawking at me. I don't know what he wants. Just wants to squawk. Dude! Okay, I figured out what he wants. That. It's a plastic placemat, and he knocked it off the coffee table. He knocked it off the coffee table, and he's pushing it around the room and sliding on it. It's really funny, but it's really loud, so I apologize if it's like ungodly loud when he does that. I think I fixed my frogging issue. Yay! This Pokemon is giving off Aristocats vibes. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Espeon's a little extra. Dude! You're just like crashing into stuff now. Now he's gonna go jump on his sister. You gonna pounce on her? Give her the poof tail too? Now she found the mat. They're like pushing it up and down the hallway, sliding on it. It's one of their favorite toys. It's not a toy for them. It's a freaking placemat. Although my neck lamp is low on battery, so I can't stitch. So no, I'm so sorry. What's the thing you have your hoop in? Can you show more of it? I cannot show more of it because even though I'm in a really big room, I'm like wedged into a corner between a desk and a dresser and then a little side table here. So unfortunately, I cannot show any more of it. It is a craft stand by Loops and Threads. There are a couple ways that you can see it. I have a TikTok video where I do show it off. Or if you click that link that I just posted there, it's the link in my bio. There's a thing called like, what do you use? Or like my supplies or something. I think it's my supplies. And I link directly to this craft stand that I use. Good Lord, y'all. Could you not crash into me? I get that you have the zoomies. Just please don't crash into me. I'm holding a needle. I understand that. It's still rude. Yes, it's rude. Give your cat a box and it will make them feel like they're gone. They have a box. They have lots of boxes. There's an empty box right over there. They don't want anything to do with it right now. They want everything else. Unless there's a new box. If I had a new box, they would be very excited about new box. Is there a hoop cooldown? Possibly, probably. I think I added a cooldown to the hoop just so that I wouldn't be like in the middle of one when someone redeems another one, so like they can't back up on me, I guess. So I may have added a cooldown to that. That wouldn't surprise me. I'm back. Welcome back, Milksop Boy. He cares not about you holding sharp objects, right? Not a care. Not a fluff given. Give them to the dentist racket factory. I don't even know what that means. we got this other ear outlined. Yeah. Looking much more like an Espeon now. Even more so. Ma'am, can I help you? Get back here. You have to answer for your crimes. Come here. Little scritchies. You sweetest girl. Hi, baby. She's like, no scritchies right now. I've chosen violence. I'm aware. It's mostly violence against my poor plant, but she's circling me like a shark. She's waiting for me to show weakness. It will not happen. All right. No! That's so sad. They found the box. You had to say box. They found the box. They're in the box. Well, if you don't want to be in the box, then get out of the box. All right, Maddie. What size hoop are we finishing? 4, 5, 6, or 7? They're like toddlers. They really are. They're only 9 months old, so like they are babies still technically. And they sort of swing wildly back and forth between being toddlers and being teenagers. They're either like give you sass, or they just go into full like toddler manic chaos mode, and there's not really much in between unless they're sleeping. All right, another 6-inch hoop. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me finish off. I got one more stitch inside this little nubbin. I don't know what this is. It's more. All of the evolutions have like these weird mutton chops going on, like little nubbins. I don't know what to call them. Okay, we're gonna go from there to there, and then we're gonna pop up. Is that right? That's right. Okay. Cool. All right. 6 and 2. It's blue. Oh shoot. Hold on. I gotta move stuff around. Go there. This goes on my lap. There we go. Teenagers are just toddlers with a large vocabulary. They're just bigger toddlers. Alright, 6-inch. This is 7. This is. What? I don't know my colors. Green comes before blue. Therefore, 6 comes before 7, right? I don't know my colors. I need to go back to color theory. Does the craft stand sit on the floor, or would it work on a table? It does sit on the floor. Because it's like adjustable, you could probably put it on a table, maybe. I bet you could put it on a table if you took like some of the extension pieces off of it. If you like half built it and like didn't make it as tall, you could probably sit it on a table. What I have done with it is I have put it on the top of the bed with me as I was sitting on the bed. So it was like on the same level as me. So I haven't had it higher than, like a table is higher than you sit. So I've done it where I'm sitting in a chair and it's on the floor, and I've done it where it's on the same level as me, where I was on the bed and it was on the bed. But theoretically it could. You might have to like not fully put all of the pieces on it, but like theoretically, yes. Where do you get the pin? What pin? Are you talking about the needle minder that I use? My needle like magnets to? I got that on Etsy. That same link, the supplies that I use, there's a link to the shop that I got it from. Before I finish this, I have to pee. I'll be right back. I've always pictured Espeon's nubbins as ear tufts. Right, but like they're like way down here. They're like little cheeky tufts. I always want to say like they're little ear tufties, but like they're not actually on the ears. And like Glaceons are full on mutton chops. Like for real. Alright, I'll be right back. Excuse me, sir. Please do not come in. You don't need to join me in the bathroom. Clover actually over. No, not kittens. Just the needy dog. Excuse me! Rude. Just everybody sitting right outside the freaking door waiting for me. Weirdos! Okay. Maddie. Who are we going to finish up this time? We have Raichu, Marowak, Graveler, Golem, Poliwhirl, and Beedrill. That's what we got for our 16 troops. Sing me your song, Kitty. He will absolutely sing you the song of his people. It goes meow all day long, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the song of his people. Humble boys. Oh no, now he's gonna go torture the dog. Poor dog. She's like screaming, baby screaming. Oh my god. The first one, alright, we're gonna do Raichu. Close, and we're gonna open this drawer. I need a 6-inch hoop. No, you're 5. You're 5. Ow! You look like a 6-inch hoop. Haha. I'm getting better at just like eyeballing. Oh, which ones? Kitty stream. I have debated getting another camera specifically so that I can have a redemption be like pet stream, and I would like turn off this camera that shows my face and like switch it over to like show the pets. But that would involve needing to get another camera. And I already have a lot of stuff set up. But I have thought of it. I have thought about it. Because, let's be honest, that's what you're really here for. That is not centered. You need to be lower. Here we go. Is that any better? Much better. There's someone who does that on Twitch. Cute, but it will bring people in. That's true. That's true. But also money, because cameras aren't cheap. And also, I need some sort of extension hubby thing to attach more than one camera. Because like I said, I already have I have two cameras hooked up to this, and then I have this phone set up to be streaming on TikTok. And I have my light plugged in, and I have like a second monitor plugged in, and it's a lot. Oh, what's up with you not cutting them big enough? These are older pieces. I'm sorry. These are ones that I stitched like years ago when I was poor and didn't have a lot of money and didn't want to spend money on fabric. So I was like, how can I make this craft more cost effective when I'm barely making rent? Because when I was in my early 20s, I did not make a lot of money. I still don't make a lot of money, but it is what it is. Kitties United. Sad, I love the string ones. I'm sorry. I did a bad when I was, 10 years ago. I can't go back and fix it now. But I have learned from my mistakes and I no longer cut my fabric so tight. You can make a really fun video by letting the tiny humans film the tiny terrors. I do not want my tiny humans to have my phone. Because they're not careful. Not Liz McGuire, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Alright, we're gonna cut this short also, because this is my fatal flaw, is I used to not cut any of my old pieces to a good size. Hi, Wednesday. You coming to say hello? She has her little paws up on my leg. Okay, bye. Garbage! Get in there! Okay, here we go. The Etsy shop you got your needle minder from is taking a break, so I went down the rabbit hole of needle minders on Etsy, and oh boy, there's so many great options. There really are. I'm sorry the one that I got mine from is taking a break. They have so many cute ones. Like, so many. And they're like really nice quality. Like the magnets on them are like, I was a little worried that they'd be like those type of magnets that like are kind of like carbon-y, like have a carbon residue, but they're not. They're actually like, really nice little magnets and stuff that magnetize on both sides of your fabric, and then like the needle sticks to it and stuff as well. So yeah. I don't know why you're screaming, ma'am. That's her this time. Mr. Beast enters the chats and donates 100k to you realize you're doing a charity stream. What? I don't understand. Here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Finishing off Raichu. I don't know how I shared the live, but you're welcome. You must have hit the button that said, hey, share live. You might not have shared it anywhere. I think it does that if you click like copy link or like something like that, so you can like copy it and share it to other people if you want to. But hey, why are you, where did you come from? Get out of here. Let's pick it up. It was attached. Excuse me. Sir, can you stop yodeling? Or at least come closer to the microphone. Yes, sing them the song of your people. Oh, don't do this right now. Don't come crashing into me. I have glue. I don't want it touching me. It's gross. And it's stinky. Yes, I hear you, sir. Yodeling at me is not going to make me change my mind. No, I'm not giving you any until someone redeems it. That's how it works. You yodel at them. You tell them. Spoiled brat. I think what he actually wants is for his sister to play with him, and she's not quite in the mood, so he's trying very hard to, like, convince her, hey, we should play. It should be playtime. Okay, I am almost out of E6000. I need more of the stinky glue. Yeah. Oh. I just got like a really big whiff of it. Yuck. Okay. I am going to go banish another one to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Here we go. Don't touch it. It's sticky. No, you may not come in the bathroom. Get out of here. Goblins. Absolute chaos goblins. Why not use Gorilla Glue? Because I have never used Gorilla Glue. I've only ever used E6000 on these, so that is what I know. Yeah. I mean, you probably could use Gorilla Glue. I imagine it would probably function very much the same. I just don't have it and haven't tested it or used it. I love all the kitty meows. I do too. Oh, imagine. Oh my gosh. Actually, I have a 3D printer and tons of neodymium magnets. I might just have to make my own. Oh, you should. You can. I love the kitty meows. What glue is that, and would regular super glue work okay? I use E6000. I have never tried with regular super glue. I imagine it would probably work really similar. What I like about E6000 is, hold on, let me show you one that I've previously done and that is back from being banished. So what I like about E6000 is, I don't know if you could tell like how gloopy and like thick it was when I first laid it on, but as it dries, it actually completely collapses down in on itself and down between the cracks in here, and it lays pretty flat. So theoretically, you could do it with like even hot glue, but the problem with hot glue is it stays really, really three-dimensional. So I don't know about super glue or Gorilla Glue, if they would stay really three-dimensional or if it would like collapse down like this. So I don't know, but I use E6000. That's what I've always used when I've finished them off like this. So meows after bumping into you, right? Just absolutely screaming, just run straight into me. Oh. Let's see how quickly it takes them to figure out what's going on. I'm gonna move this out of the way this time, because they are 100% going to jump on me. They always do. Can you just stay there? There we go. Okay. Oh God! Yup, saw that coming. They were gonna jump on me, that everything was going to be pure chaos. Clover first. Excuse me. A little aggressive. Oh God, you are so wobbly. Wednesday, yours is over here, Mix. Here. Oh, you. Where did it go? It went down my sleeve. Okay, sir. That was it. That was the treat. It's like, yes, but more. More, please. Can I have a snuggle? Do I get any snuggles after treats? No? You're just gonna stare at me? Clover's like, I'll give you snuggles. You always want the snuggles. Come here, snuggly bear. Hello. Oh, don't lick me. Rude. Don't lick me. I don't like that. I will give you snuggle though. Hello. No, don't lick me. I know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hi, Wednesday. Alright. The chaos kittens. Alright. Yeah. Dude, they race over so fast. They're learning that like when I start to move the cameras so that you guys can like hopefully see what they're doing. I'm not 100% sure that those of you on TikTok can see what's going on. Where did I put... Where did you guys knock my clipboard completely under my chair? Really? I can't, I'm not that flexible. I can't reach it. Okay, I got it. I got it back. We're good. Oh god. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if those of you on TikTok can see them during treat time, but I do try to angle the camera over there, so hopefully it's not too bad, but I can't get on the other side of the camera to actually check and see what you see. So hopefully I'm doing okay. Now the dog wants to play with the cat. Really? This is the chaos you're inviting into my house tonight, Clover? How dare you? So whatever. Kaley, cheers. Metapod. Yes. Yeah, I had a Metapod. That's what I was showing. No, no. All of the chaos. Every time. Every time. The treats do have a cooldown, and they also do have a limit per stream. So we limit to 3 sets per stream, and they've already gotten their treats 3 times tonight. And the reason we do that is, one, as you can see, as the night wears on, they get more and more like feral. And then on top of that, really? Guess what we're doing? She's like, I want to play with him. I want to play with the baby. Yeah, they get more and more feral, and also that was my dog that time that attacked my poop stand. I'm gonna stand on it with both of my feet now, so you can't bonk it over. We want to make sure that they don't get sick from eating too many treats or things like that. So my partner and I decided that 3 per stream was plenty. But yeah, they start to get a little nibbly. I got both open. TikTok's angle's pretty good. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that TikTok's angle is okay on that. I always worry about that, and then like I always forget to like confirm with it. We can see them. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can see them. My girls heard you say treats, so I had to give them snacks. I'm so sorry. I need to find a different word. I need to find a better way to phrase it. They know what it means now too, so I have to be like careful just like saying it casually. But that's what my kids call it, like if they want dessert or something after dinner, they'll be like, hey, can we have a treat? And so like the dog heard me again. She ran over here. No, you're all done for the night, miss. That was it. It's time for settling down. She's like, no, chaos. Can we straighten up the camera? I'm not sure exactly what about. This is like about as straight as I can get it, because if I get it any more like head on, then I literally can't see what I'm stitching because it would be in front of my face. So this is about as close to what I'm seeing as I can get you guys. My girls get theirs at 5, and occasionally they get very small ones when I feel nice. Aww. The babies? Oh, that's off. Hold on. Those should be touching. Those should be touching. Freaking. What did I do? Give me a second. Okay, just these 4 need to be moved over. Okay. That's not that bad of a mistake. That is fixable. That is fixable. Oh, look. And that's even, like, the end of a piece. Okay. We can fix this. We can frog this. We got this. It's all gonna be okay. Maybe. Hopefully. See, I do make mistakes. It does happen. Now we're gonna fix it. I'm gonna snip that. So literally, these 3 stitches need to be moved over one single little spot. So we're gonna unpick this little bit. And this is such a small amount of thread. I cannot tie that in a knot, but I am going to show you a different way to do it. And it is absolute chaos, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay, I'll set that there for a sec. I'm gonna take just a random piece of thread. I'm going to fold it over in half, and I'm going to thread my needle with it. Then, in this big open loop that I just created, okay, I am going to wrap it around that little black piece of thread. If I can. Doesn't want to happen. Okay. And then we're going to kind of pull it tighter. Nope. Stay through there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Too tight. Too tight. Okay, there we go. So this piece is threaded through the needle, around the black, and back through the needle, essentially, is what I've just done. Now I'm going to take this, we're going to weave it under some other pieces of thread up that direction. And then I'm going to pull the needle. And as this little loop, it's going to pull the black thread through all of this with it, theoretically. What it's supposed to do. It's throwing a fit right now. That needs to be pushed. We're going to keep pulling. Come on. There we go. So we just threaded that black through underneath all of those other pieces, and then this just comes right off of it. So that is what you do when you run out of thread. Or like you don't have enough to weave it under because you don't have a long enough tail. You use another piece to make your tail longer, sort of. I feel like I did a really bad job of explaining what I was doing, but hopefully you guys kind of were able to visually see what the heck I was doing and understand it. Even if I didn't verbalize what I was doing very well. If I redeem the hoop finish, can I let TikTok choose out of Beedrill and Golem? Yes, but not tonight. It is too close to the end of the stream for me to finish off another hoop. But on the next stream, yeah, you can be like, hey, choose between these two, and I can make a little poll and let them vote. But yeah, I don't do any hoop redemptions within the last 15 minutes or so, just because I like to be able to try and wrap up what I'm doing, and then I have like my little end of stream spiel thing. Yeah. Really? You're just, voicing all of the complaints tonight, and management doesn't appreciate it. I've done that several times with a needle threader instead of thread. I always end by tucking under, and sometimes I have less than 2 inches of floss left when I do. Yeah, I tend to not weave my ends under when I'm working in a hoop. But on the big tapestry piece that I'm working on, I have been starting my floss with a knot so that I don't have to like flip it over so many times because it's such a big piece. But I've been ending by weaving it under. Since I have to flip it over to tie off my knot anyway, I've just been weaving the second end under. So I'll have less knots on the back of my tapestry piece, but it's such a big piece. I was just like, I just need to make this a little easier for myself. So I did decide to knot at the beginning of my strands anyway. I'm gonna go shower to help the aching and get ready for bed. Thank you for the stream tonight. I love you, Maddie. I've been stressed about stuff getting ready for prom. Aw, have a good rest of your evening, Maddie. I hope that your prom goes really, really well. I hope that you have tons of fun. What's just happening? It's fine. I'm just imagining things. And we leave it long and loose until I do the area around it and weave it under them. I mean, yeah, you can totally do it that way too. I've tried doing stuff like that before and I always end up getting big tangles in the back when I try to do that. So now I just make sure I either tie it off or weave it under right when I'm done with that piece. But what works for me does not necessarily work for everybody. And if it works for you, then go for it. That is the important part, is that it works for you. You just cross-stitched for the first time today? That's so exciting! Congratulations! Did you enjoy it? Good night, Maddie. Switching glasses. Like Superman or something. It's me, but it's not me. You can't tell it's me any longer. I make myself laugh. I'm sorry. I'm such a dork. I don't know why I'm like this. Are you just free stitching, no guide or anything? No, I do have a guide. I have a pattern that's off to the side over here. You just can't see it with the camera. So I am following a pattern, but I am doing counted cross rather than printed cross. I had to stop stitching for tonight. It's 3 a.m. here. Oh my gosh, that's so late, Yana. You need to get some sleep. I got a tiny little beginner one from Amazon, like 8 by 8 inches, and I'm loving it. Oh, 8 by 8 is not tiny. That's big. That's a big piece. This one is only in a 5-inch hoop. This is only 5 inches across, so probably smaller actually. It's like 5 by 5. Yeah, that's a good. I'd say that's a good size beginner piece. I usually say like anywhere between like 3 to 5 inch hoop for your beginner for like your first piece. I think is a good size. It's big enough to feel like you did something cool, but not so big that it feels overwhelming to get it finished. Give me the floss. Give me the floss, please. Thank you. All right, so we're still doing a color blended set. So that's not enough. Okay. Ellen, Scotty, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I got loads done stitching along with your live. Aw, that's awesome. I'm glad you got a bunch done. Okay, so I'm gonna measure this so that I don't have to like cut any excess off. I'm gonna try and get these to be the same size this time. There we go. I keep saying that over and over. Okay, there's that bright purple, and then I'm gonna pull a strand of the dark purple off. And we're gonna blend them together. And they should be the same length this time. All right, there we go. Stay over there, we go. Okay. And I'm not up early tomorrow, so it's fine. Okay, good. At least you get to like sleep in, take your time waking up tomorrow, not have to be up too early. I always have to get up earlier than I want to be because cats. The patterns on the back are absolutely mesmerizing. I love that you can still tell what the pattern is just by looking at the back of it. Like, it does look abstract and stuff, but I do like when you can tell what it is still. What length of floss do you tend to use each time? From my fingertips to the middle of my chest. I do not recommend that for most people. If you are a beginner, I recommend you use between 12 to 18 inches of floss. When I put together my kits, I do 18-inch segments for people. Occasionally I will do 18-inch segments for myself as well. I tend to use 18-inch segments when I'm working with black. But yeah, that's, for the most part, it's just, it's however long half my wingspan is. Because I'm lazy and I don't like measuring. So it is definitely too long of a piece of floss, and I definitely do get tangles because of that. But you can't stop me. I can't stop me. I am unstoppable. I will not be reasoned with, despite the fact that I know better. I'm probably never going to stop doing it that way. Yeah, because mostly because I'm lazy. But I did get, okay, so I got this from Etsy as well. Who did I get this from? This was by Stacy Stitch's Creative Studio on Etsy. And this is, hold on, let me move this so I can like show it better. So this is a floss winder, and so what you do, here, let me do it with black, because I always could use more black. So this is 9 inches across, so you take your floss, and you like hold it like that, and you like go around and around a couple times, however many times you want, and then I'm gonna let go of that first little piece. And then you just snip it right here at this little thing. And because you wrapped it all the way around, these are now 18-inch lengths. Like, pre-cut. Already, like, measured for you. So since I've gotten this, I have been using this more to like measure out my floss so that I don't have to so it doesn't tangle quite as much. But yeah, I don't like having to stop and start as much, so that's why I've always just done like an arm's worth. But yeah, so I kind of go back and forth now between like, well, I should use a smaller length so I don't get any tangles, but then also like I don't want to have to keep stopping to keep tying off, so like I kind of go back and forth still. So I'm naughty and I don't follow the rules, but also the rules are there to break them, and whatever works for you, like honestly, it doesn't really matter if it works for anybody else as long as it works for you, right? Like the best way to cross stitch is to cross stitch the way that works for you. And there are so many different ways to do every single step of the process of cross stitching. So like if you're cross stitching and you're like, I like cross stitching, except this one part sucks, look into some other ways to do that one part. There's more than one way to thread a needle. There's more than one way to tie a knot. There's more than one way to cast on and tie off your piece, like your piece of floss. There's more than one way to decide how much you're cutting or to cut your floss, or like there's just, it really is a choose your own adventure hobby. And those of you who watch me all the time know that I say that all the freaking time. But it's true. And so the most important part is that whatever you're doing works for you. Where do you get the giant spools of floss? I had to order them on Amazon. What movie has the line, we're blending and we're blending? I have no idea. Kat, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Mind blown. So yeah, the giant spools of floss. I only have the giant spools in black and B5200, and that is because I use a metric fuck ton of those colors. And yes, that is the technical term. So I have the giant jumbo mega cone of 310. This was approximately 2,100 meters. I don't know how many feet that is, but it's a lot. And then I have the smaller cone of B5200 because while I do still use a lot of it, I do not use nearly as much as I do of black. And this is 425 meters. So I ordered these online, and at the time that I ordered them, I did do the math on like, okay, if I had ordered this much in just like regular skeins, how much would that cost me? And like, this is so much more cost effective if you do a lot of cross stitching. Now, obviously this is like a ton. This is a ton. So like, you may decide to go with like the smaller thing of the 310 or something like that. But this is what I bought, partially because I am working on a massive tapestry piece that is going to have a lot of 310, like so much 310. Hold on, let me pull up the pattern real quick and I will tell you this one. I have it here. So the pattern is so big that they could only like capture and save to PDF 1/4 of the pattern at a time because it is 200 pages. So they could only do it in quadrants. So I printed out one of the quadrants, and one quadrant uses 33,390 stitches of just 310. Just for one quadrant, and there's 3 more quadrants, and the top 2 quadrants, because this is the bottom, one of the bottom quadrants, the top 2 quadrants have like a big like black sky section up at the top of it. The entire tapestry piece is 798,000 stitches. It's going to take me literal years to finish. I'm still working on the first page. Hold on, where is... This is page 1. So all of the yellow I have stitched, and this white up here is what I have left to stitch of page 1. So when I'm done with page 1, I will be 0.5% done with the giant tapestry piece. It's gonna take forever, but that's okay. It gives me something to like work on in bits and pieces and little bits. It goes through every time you blink breaths. How do you get the DMC floss in that form? I had to order it off of Amazon. I tried looking at like Joann's and Michael's, and like I just, for the life of me, they have the worst websites for ordering DMC floss I have ever seen. They are so bad. So I did end up buying the cones through Amazon. But yeah, I just searched like DMC floss cone 310 and like DMC floss cone B5200. They do not offer every color in cones. They do offer a handful. Like I think they offer like a couple shades of red or something like that as well. But for the most part, I think it's just the black and white. That's an insane amount of commitment. I'm so impressed. To be fair, I only started it like a month ago, so we'll see how far I get into it before I'm like, screw this and throw it in the garbage. But it was a lot of money in fabric, so I plan to stick through with it. But it's more Pokemon, so, you know, clearly I know what I stitch. I know myself. It's about $60 on Amazon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Have you tried 123 cross stitch? So 123stitch.com I have recently found. I had already ordered all of my stuff before I found that website. So I have not ordered any, I have not actually ordered anything from them. But I might in the future. But yeah, Joann's and Michael's websites is the worst for ordering DMC floss through, and I don't recommend it. The user experience is terrible. It is god awful. So I usually just buy my DMC floss in store. But yeah, I should look into 123 cross stitch. But I do use their cloth calculator all the time. So their cloth calculator, you put in the dimensions of the piece you're stitching, how much extra fabric you want around the outside, and what count of Ida cloth you're stitching on, and it tells you how big the finished stitched piece is going to be, which will give you you can kind of rough estimate how big of a hoop you're going to need from that. And it also tells you like exactly how big of a piece of Ida cloth to cut for your piece. So I use that all the darn time. But yeah. So it is past 10:30, which means it's my bedtime. So for those of you who've been with me and hanging out with me, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I'm about to say a whole bunch of stuff, and the thing I'm going to say over and over is the link is in my bio. So if you're over on Twitch, that's the link I'm talking about. If you're over on TikTok, the link is in my bio, and I think you know what that means. So first I want to start by saying thank you so much to my patrons. Your support is what helps me continue being able to do this, being able to come live with you guys twice a week, be able to keep making patterns for you all and things like that. You guys are what keep me going and keep me motivated, and you guys help give me directions on what to work on next. So I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. You are wonderful, and I would name you by name if the freaking page would load so I could see your names. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to load, I do go live twice a week. I go live on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 Eastern time, and I stitch for about 3 hours, and I chat with you guys, and we hang out, and I answer questions, and we just have fun and chaos, especially with the kittens. So for my patrons, I want to say thank you to Lauren, Natalie, Michaela, Sarah, Allyson, Melanie, Giordan, Kaley, Alexandra, Chelsea, Shirley, Lynn, Amber, Lisa, and Demented Lemming, aka Avril. Thank you all so much for all of your support. It means the world to me. If you are new to cross stitching and want to learn how to cross stitch, I do have a how to cross stitch guide linked in my bio. If you're going through that and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through my Etsy shop. Leave a message on any of my TikTok videos. Leave me a comment. I will make you a video response to it. If you want to do it in private, send it through my Etsy shop and I will respond to you on there. Or you can always pop into one of my lives and ask me a question live, and I can show you as I'm stitching my own piece. I can pause, show you, the answer to your question, whatever. I love answering questions. I'm a teacher at heart, and that's really how all of this started, was me wanting to be like, hey, I like this craft. Here's how to do it. If you are looking for any of the supplies or any of the things that I use and you're interested in that for yourself, or you're just like, hey, what's the best whatever, I'm not saying that anything that I use is the best. It's just what I use. I do have a supplies list linked in my bio where you can get like direct links to the brands that I use, where I found my stuff, the Etsy shops that I have purchased things from, like, my floss winder and like my needle minder and like things like that. If you would like to get your own Pokemon cross stitch patterns, I do have a couple different ways for you to do that. I do have an Etsy shop where I sell my patterns for $5 a piece. I also have my Patreon, and if you are looking to buy more than 3 patterns, I highly recommend you at least consider the Patreon. For $7 a month, you get 2 brand new patterns every month. They do rotate out every month, but you also get access to Bulbasaur, Charmander, Pikachu, and Squirtle all the time. And then the other 2 switch out every month. If you join my $12 tier, you get access to my entire library of Pokemon patterns. Currently, there are 44 Pokemon in the library. I add at least 4 every month. This month, I added 8. This coming month, I also am planning to add a bunch of Pokeball patterns and some Pokeball bookmarks. So I'm really excited to get those into the library as well. I've been working on those all month. I've actually been working on them for longer than a month, but those are hopefully going to be ready. I've been doing some beta testing for how to back the bookmarks and things like that, so I'm really excited to share all that with you guys. If you want a sneak peek of what those look like, check out the recap, whatever playback of my last Twitch and TikTok stream from Sunday, because I did show it off in that. But I gave it to my partner and it's upstairs, so I don't have it with me, but I need to make another one. But yeah, so I'm really excited to be sharing the patterns for those of you guys next month as well, if you are one of my patrons. If you are one of my patrons, you also do get access to a private patrons only Discord server. I do have a public one, but the private one is just a little bit more like intimate and cozy. It's only, you know, craft centric, but we also get to like cheer each other on as we're working on things and share our finished products with each other and ask questions and stuff like that. And as soon as I get to 20 patrons, I am going to be starting to do a regular craft night where I'm actually going live over there and you guys get to come live with me. So you'll actually get to like talk back and not just be like in the chat. We'll actually be able to like show each other what we're working on and things like that. So I'm really excited to be able to start that soon because we're getting close to 20 patrons. So yeah, I think that is, oh, and then I do have one more tier on Patreon. I know it's not for everybody, but for the people that are at that tier, they really, really love it. It is my Kit of the Month Club. And so not only do you get access to the entire library of Pokemon patterns that I've already created, and like the 4 new ones every month and all of that, I also send you a kit in the mail every single month with a brand new Pokemon, with the pattern, with everything you need to stitch that Pokemon, all of the thread, all of that stuff, including stuff to back your piece really professionally, like even nicer than I do with like these ones. So like I send you with like the thread that you need to finish up the back, and then I also send you with like a piece of felt that you can affix to the back so that all of your stitches are completely enclosed, and it's a really professional backing. I don't tend to do that on my pieces because they're just going on my wall and I'm lazy. Like I said, less steps. But yeah, Kaley is one of my Kit of the Month Club members, and she absolutely loves it because it comes with all of the colors she needs, and she doesn't have to worry about her shop not having the last color that she needs. But yeah, so I think that is all of my end of stream spiel. Somebody asked me a question. Rika Jack said, do you have any tips for making your own pattern? I did it and severely underestimated the amount of contrast I would need. So for making your own pattern, a lot of it is trial and error and like kind of learning what you do and don't like. I use Max Stitch Pro. So I actually use a computer program and I build them on the computer. I did start my very first patterns drawing them on graph paper, but they were black work. So with black work, I feel like you can kind of get away with a little bit more with using graph paper instead of using a program. But as soon as I started doing like full cross patterns and stuff like that, I originally made patterns on PC Stitch Pro, and then I switched over to Mac Pro when I got a Mac a few years ago. Mac Pro also has a Windows version called, Max Stitch. Max Stitch has a Windows version called WinStitch. I've never used that version of it, but I imagine it's pretty similar to Max Stitch. So that is what I use to make all of my patterns nowadays. But like I said, I did start by creating patterns that were black work and backstitch only and things like that when I first started out. So I didn't start really doing color other than like, you know, a rainbow. Until I started working with a computer program. The nice thing about the computer program is it does give you a pretty good idea of what the colors are going to look like once they're stitched and everything. So that can be really helpful to make sure that you get your contrast right. Every time I've tried to eyeball something and just like guess, I've had some issues with contrast in the past. So for me, I think my biggest tip would be do it on a computer, unless you're okay with having to stitch things multiple times if you need to fix the contrast or the colors or things like that. Max Stitch, PC Stitch Pro, WinStitch, they are all pay to play. There are some free stitch design programs on the internet. I did try a few out when I was switching from PC Stitch Pro over to Max Stitch. I did try a few free ones out, but I really didn't like any of them. For me personally, they were very limited. Either you couldn't save on them or you couldn't print out your pattern or like things like that I was just like, this is not what I want. So I did end up just biting the bullet and going with Max Stitch. But the nice thing about Max Stitch and WinStitch is it's a one-time payment. So it's like the old school software, instead of like the new stuff where you have to pay monthly to continue to get access to the program. You just pay the once, you own the program, and that's it, you're done. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on pattern making. Oh, that is something that you get if you are one of my patrons. When I'm designing my patterns, I go live in the patron Discord and I show my screen as I'm pattern designing. So that's something that like I don't really talk about a whole lot, but like that is definitely one of the perks of being one of my patrons, is getting to see my process and see what I'm doing and how I create like my color palettes, and like actually getting to watch me put together the patterns and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, so that is it. I just want to make sure, did I miss any other questions? Are you going to put back the stitches that you frogged? I know you're trying to get off. I am going to put back those stitches next time, because I'm already 15 minutes. I'm supposed to be in bed. But yeah, I will end up putting those stitches back. When I go to stitch another color, I'll be like, oh, hey, there's supposed to be something here. And I will put them back eventually. I'll get there. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's 3 stitches. I'll figure it out. I'm like really non-committal tonight, guys. I'm tired. Anyway, I will be back on Sunday for another live at 7:30 Eastern Time. And I love you all, and you're amazing. And thank you for coming and hanging out with me. And I'll see you in a few days. Bye. Where's the